What's up, everybody? This is the PlayStation Lifestyle Underground Podcast. We are an unofficial podcast of PlayStationLifestyle.net. I am Hugo Stiglitz. You can find me on PSN as Hugo Stiglitz _420. And we're doing another two-man show today. You want to say hi, Steve?
Yeah, sure. I'm Steven Bitto. I'm the community manager for PlayStation Lifestyle. You can find me on the forums as Steven Bitto. And you can find me on the PlayStation Network as TYLERxDURDEN.
Awesome. And I actually just got done playing the Uncharted 4 beta that came out today, so I'm playing that a lot today. Also playing a lot of Just Cause 3 that came out the other day. Loving that. Still trying to play Fallout every chance I get. Dying Light, Black Ops 3, a little bit of Killzone, Rocket League, and of course Project Cars. Also on PC, I've been playing a little bit of R Factor 2, Assetto Corsa, and Race Room Racing Experience, or whatever it's called. And then on the Vita, I've been playing some Fallout 4 on Remote Play, and Just Cause 3, and Jet Car Stunts, which is a very, very fun game. But that's it for me. What have you been playing lately?
I've just been playing tons of Fallout. Every free gaming minute I have, I try to play some Fallout, get something done.
Yeah, there's not enough minutes in the day. It's like there
really isn't.
So many games right now that I want to play and no time to play them. But I guess it's a good problem to have. You know, I'll be set for a long time between Fallout 4 and Just Cause. I mean, just those two alone, it's not going to be good for like a month at least. And plus it's like Drive Club and Project Cars keep getting DLC, and I always got to play my racing games, so it's plenty of stuff to play lately. And so we're going to talk about today is this weekend we have PSX. Tonight, I think it's actually starting soon, we have the Game Awards. So just wanted to talk about those a little bit. I'm definitely looking forward to PSX, but not like I was last year. Like last year was pretty much, we all expected to hear from Uncharted 4, and up until that point we had only seen the teaser trailer, so it's like I was pretty excited just for that reason. Plus it was the first PSX that they've done, so it was kind of, interesting to see like what they might announce and stuff. Like, and it was cool last year, and hopefully it's cool this year. But personally, I'm not expecting a whole lot just because they just did Paris Games Week, and I personally thought Paris Games Week was awesome, and I thought they had a lot to show. So I'll be surprised if they still have a lot to show at PSX this weekend. But you're actually fortunate enough to be going there, for the whole weekend. So what do you think they're going to be talking about?
I'm really excited. I really think they're going to blow everyone away with this press conference. I really think they're going to one-up everything they've done so far this year. Which would be hard to do because the Horizon stuff, the Last Guardian stuff, the Final Fantasy VII a remake announcement, that stuff's all gigantic. But I really think they're going to come out swinging. I expect some big stuff.
That would be nice. I guess Santa Monica is a possibility, and Sony Bend. I think, since they didn't mention them in the last couple, it would be kind of cool if they finally told us what's going on with those two awesome developers that they have that have seemingly been doing nothing for the past couple of years.
Right.
Or at least they've said nothing about what they're doing at all. Other than, they canceled the project at Santa Monica. But whatever, that was a while ago, so it's like by now they must have something going on, I'm sure. Whether it's God of War or whatever, but I think it would be nice to hear from them. I think we're definitely going to hear some other stuff, like Drawn to Death, the Tomorrow Children, which are kind of like Sony exclusives, I think. But it's like they announced, and like they haven't had a whole lot of exposure lately of the last couple of shows, so it's like maybe we could hear from them. And there's a ton of possibilities. There's just so many games that have been announced and just not shown. Like, think I even heard someone mention Deep Down.
Oh God.
And I was like, man, that game seems like it's just gone. Like, and it's a real shame because I actually thought that the game looked awesome, but that I don't know what's going on with that. Like, I thought Sony was kind of paying them to make that or helping them fund that game, but it's like I don't know, maybe something happened because it's like I don't think Sony would be very happy if they were really taking this much time to do it. Like,
No.
so it's like that. I think that thing is in jeopardy big time. It probably has been for a while too, but so yeah, no, I just thought I'd mention that. Someone mentioned it, but I don't think that's happening. I think, if we're very lucky, we could hear about Rhyme.
Yeah.
Finally.
Was it PSX last year when they had like the longer trailer that kind of like fleshed it out a little bit?
I believe so. Either that or Gamescom last year.
Yeah, I remember the trailer looked really good. Like it was like kind of like cel shaded a little bit with the it was focused on like the protagonist instead of the more abstract thing,
Yeah.
which I think the teaser was.
Yeah, I think the teaser did show a little bit of the character, but it didn't really show it from like a gameplay perspective, except for like maybe one shot, I think.
Right.
But the last trailer showed like quite a bit of what we can assume is gameplay. It kind of had that third person over the behind the chase camera or kite camera, I guess you could call it. And it showed a little bit more, but that's all we've seen since then. And they've been working on it for a while, and it looks so damn good. Like that's like from the moment they showed it, that's been one of the ones I've been most excited about. As well as Abzu, which is a game by the art director and the composer of Journey, which is like
Right. And that will
an amazing
be there.
combination. And the game looks good. Like it will be there.
Yeah, that will be there.
Demos and stuff. Yeah,
Right.
I think they did have demos at E3 or whatever, and it's like this underwater exploration type game, which seems pretty cool. And it's obviously beautiful because, like I said, it's the art director of Journey, and the composer, which is like Journey is still my favorite soundtrack in any game. So it's like there's a lot of cool things we could hear about. Also, the Tomorrow Children. I think I already mentioned that, but it's like that's a very cool looking game, and they did an alpha test for that a year ago before PSX. So it's like, they gotta be getting close, and I think they did actually say that they would be launching this fall, but I think obviously that didn't end up happening. But so it's like this probably a bunch of stuff that we have like coming up, and they could talk about.
And
there,
I mean, I actually on our Instagram this week I posted a picture from Flower and I said like, "What are you working on, that game company?" Because they haven't released anything since Journey. When was that? Like 2013?
12.
2012.
So it's even yeah. I have to wonder what they've been doing because I mean they're amazing and they've been. I don't know what they've been doing for all these years, but
three
it's gonna be
games on PS3 and then nothing in 3 years.
Yeah, and it's like I don't even think they did the ports of Journey and Flower. Like I know they didn't do it of Journey, but I don't even think
I want to say that was actually
handled...
Blue Point.
Blue Point might have done Flower,
I can't
but
remember.
I'm pretty sure Journey was done by someone else. I forget who. But, yeah. So it's like that. There's a lot of possibilities, but like there also has been in the last couple of shows. So who knows what'll happen? But I think they'll definitely talk about VR. I'll be surprised if they don't give a price on VR. Personally, I'm hoping it's $200. But I could see it being up to 300. I hope it's I hope it's 250 with the camera or 200 without it. I'm thinking that if we're unlucky, it'll be 300 without the camera because you do need the camera for it to work and stuff. So
yeah, I actually just
maybe
bought the
they'll
camera
bundle
for $30 on Black Friday, so I'm set there.
Oh really? Damn. I've seen it for $40 a bunch of times, but yeah, not 30.
It actually made it down to 25 on Amazon.
Yeah. Damn. there's been a couple times where like the PS TV, the Vita TV has been $20, and it's like both times they sold out before I could even finish my order. So
yeah,
aggravating because I actually
like
do want
a week
one of those.
ago. I was gonna try to snag one for my brother, but I wasn't quick enough.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, man, why even do a sale like that if you only have like 100 of them for sale? Like, Sony's, yeah. Because like it made me want one just because it's $20. Oh, I'll get one for $20, and I'm like all excited, and then, oh no, it's gone. It's like now I actually might actually get one based
on the functionality.
Price,
and did you see? I think I saw the bundle one that has the PS3 controller and the memory card. I saw that for $40.
Really?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Because I've seen it for $70, and I've seen just the Vita TV for $30 at Amazon, I think, or $35. And it's like I might end up doing that if like they don't do another $20 sale.
And then and Black Friday, Best Buy had the that PlayStation Now starter pack, which is I think is a month of PlayStation Now, a PS4 DualShock, and a charging cord, and they had that for $40.
Oh damn!
Yeah, so you basically get the cord and the month of Now for free.
Huh?
And a sale on the controller.
Damn, that's not bad.
I always wonder why.
Yeah,
they're dropping the price on all these things, but the Vita just doesn't really budge.
I don't know why, because it's like I think Sony has just pretty much given up on it. But it's like I think it would have been a good idea for them to drop it because maybe they would have sold some. But whatever, Sony's given up. I haven't. Yeah. I'm still using the hell out of mine, but it's just a shame. I mean, especially because now like the newer model doesn't have the OLED, so it's like if mine ever breaks, I'm pretty much fucked. Because it's like I do not want to get that LCD one. Like,
no, me neither.
It's like it's so hard to go from that amazing OLED to an LCD. Like, it's like I love the Vita, and it does seem like a lot more reliable than the PSP. Because I went through a couple of PSPs, and I'm on my third one now. So it's like it had all kinds of problem with those between the screens and the analog sticks. Yeah, and then eventually the power button and the USB. I don't know. I don't even want to get into that, but it's like they definitely stepped it up as far as reliability with the PS Vita, as far as I can tell. It's like I've taken good care of mine though, so I don't know, but. Yeah, back to PSX. Yeah, I'll be surprised if they don't announce the price for PS VR, PlayStation VR. I
think
hopefully
it depends on what they anticipate.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's on the high end of things, I'm not sure they're going to announce it there.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because they probably could have already.
Because they know, they have to know how the crowd's going to react based on what the price of this thing is. If it's over $300, it'll be crickets.
Mm-hmm.
People will immediately anticipate the failure of this device if it's over $300.
Yeah, I think even if it is $300, it's going to be crickets. Like, I mean, it's not a terrible price, but it's also like that's not something to be cheering about. Like, no,
that's not something people are going to jump on.
Yeah, like if it was $200, maybe, because that's definitely a reasonable price that anyone can get on. It's like I will on day one, even though I'll also have to buy a camera. At $200 is fair. It's just that if it's like $300 just for the VR itself, and then you also need a camera, it's like that's almost a PS4 right there. So plus, you have to buy games for the VR. I think they're going to be setting themselves up for failure if they sell it for any more than $250. Like even then, it might fail just because it's a peripheral. Peripherals tend to not do so great. But even though this is VR, and I do think VR could be the future, if it's done right. But yeah, they have to price it right, and I think that they priced the PS4 right, so I think they realized the importance of putting something at a good cheap price and how much success they've had with the PS4. And of course it did have to do with Microsoft screwing up as well, but I mean it definitely also had to do with the PS4 being cheap. Powerful. So it's like I hope they don't go back to their old ways, like with PS3 charging way too much money or whatever, trying to charge more than they have to. Like, they should really try to charge the minimum amount that they can, because otherwise it won't be a success. Like,
yeah, I don't think they will. I really do think that they learned from their mistakes with the PS3, and that they'll put this in like I bet it'll be $250
in the Vita.
Yeah, in the Vita.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I hope they do announce it, because like you said, if they don't, then that is a good, that's a bad sign, I'd say. Like, it could be because they are going to charge a little bit more than, we would like them to. So it's like, I think they'll, if they have a good price and they know that people will react positively to it, then they'll announce it. So I hope they announce it, but we'll see.
Like my prediction was when we did our predictions for PlayStation Lifestyle, which I'm not sure if they're up yet or not, but one of mine is that just like they did the 20th anniversary PS4s, they let the people at PSX reserve theirs first. Like they had a limited. Cool. Actually, no, they had a limited amount. I think they were selling them there.
Oh, really? Wow.
I can't remember if they were selling them there or if they were letting them reserve them there. But I think they're going to let us reserve
I think
PSVR.
You're right. Yeah, I think they were selling a limited amount of them there. Like, I'm not sure if they were there physically, but I think, like, you could order one and then they'd send it to you at least, I think. Because I think I remember seeing that some people bought them and then put them up on eBay, and, like, somebody from Sony was, like, said, they weren't too happy with that. Like, but people always do that crap. It pisses me off, because it's like all those face plates that Sony made are completely sold out, but then there's still plenty on eBay trying to charge $100 for a $20 piece of plastic, and it's just so annoying when they do that. They buy up all of those face plates so that no one else can get them, and then try to sell for $100. Assholes. I
don't know why Sony's not pumping those things out like crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
the profit margin on that piece of plastic has to be astronomical.
Oh, yeah, enormous.
They could have been doing it all along.
Yeah, so I don't know why they have it still in beta. Like, they sold out within days, so it's like, I don't know why Sony doesn't go all out with that whole project. Like, I can't see why not. But
you'd have a new big one, like, every single quarter. Every major game is a new one.
Yeah, people would collect them. Like, there would be people who would collect them if Sony would just make enough so that everyone can buy them, and not just the eBay assholes that are trying to scalp people for a limited edition piece or whatever,
I mean, part of me wonders a little bit maybe that they hold off because the limited edition PS4 bundles are doing so well.
Yeah.
And they don't want to give people an alternative. They just want people to get the limited. But I mean, so many people already have a PS4, so I mean, the odds of those people going out to buy a whole new PS4 just to have a different look is not that likely.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Like myself personally, I would never get a bundle PS4 unless I had to actually replace my PS4, unless something went wrong. You know what I mean? Which hopefully doesn't happen. Knock on wood. PSX, it's a cool thing that they do, to kind of give back to the fans and stuff. And I think it's like, if I could go to any event, it would probably be PSX, because it's an all PlayStation thing and they have tons of demos. And it's like, whereas with E3, there's a lot more people there. It's super crowded. I hear the lines are crazy, and I don't know how bad the lines are at PSX, but I have a hard time. I don't know if they would be as bad, but it's just cool to be in an all PlayStation environment. It's like, you'd be there with like-minded people, and I think it would be cool to go to that. But as far as the conference, I don't know. Like, I'd love to see some big announcements. I'd especially love to see like like I said, The Last Guardian. And like my dream would be for 4A Games to announce Metro, the next Metro game, because actually they were in the news recently. Like they decided to postpone a game they were working on that was based in space.
Yeah. Some space game is suspended indefinitely. But they said
if they're trying to finalize or like, get the next Metro going, like that would make sense for them to postpone something like that.
That's kind of what I think our article kind of like said, was that it seems like it's a move to kind of ramp up production on like a Metro main project game, and you kind of put the new IP on hold.
Yeah, no, that would be awesome. And it's like I even tweeted to 4A Games about it. Like I forget what I said, but they answered back. They were like, only RTM knows, and he doesn't like to talk about it. So it's like that wasn't a no. You know what I mean? Like RTM is the main character of Metro. So just you haven't. I don't think you've played it yet, so you wouldn't know that. But yeah. So it's like kind of like that's not a no. I'll take that.
Right.
But yeah, like other than Uncharted and Last Guardian, that's the game I'm looking forward to the most, I'd say.
See, I think I kind of like I expect Sony Bend and I expect Santa Monica, but I think that one of Sony's other major studios, they're gonna drop a bomb. I just know it, and it's gonna be like a weird thing where like their developer logo comes up on the screen, and everyone's gonna be so like just baffled what the hell that could be. Like Sucker Punch.
That's something
people just aren't expecting yet, and it's going to be something really cool. I just have this weird feeling.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Sucker Punch, like, they never stopped working. Like, I think they want, even after First Light, they kept, they started working on something else. So maybe, yeah, that would be pretty cool. I'm sure there's some others that we're not thinking of, but
And one thing people kind of like forget these days is that a lot of these studios that, like Sucker Punch was not small, but they weren't huge when they were working on the first Infamous game. But now they've put out all these products. Yep. They could easily have 2 teams right now, or like a team and a half.
Maybe, yeah.
That they moved. Because Naughty Dog Naughty Dog has.
They've definitely got to be bigger, yeah. Well, not anymore. Like they actually went back to 1 team for Uncharted 4.
Well, they always have another team that's working on something, even if it's not a full team. Like they have people doing pre-production on something else already.
Yeah. Well, it's not like it was Uncharted
3
2
and Last of Us. Yeah.
Uncharted 3. And Last of Us, like where they literally had like 2 full teams going on. Like they ramped things down to 1 team. I think. After Last of Us, they had I think they said they took maybe 15 people away from Uncharted 4 to do The Last of Us Remastered, but otherwise they're pretty much in a single team now for the most part. Other than I'm sure they have some other projects that they some people working on, brainstorming and prototyping other projects.
Plus,
I'm
Uncharted
sure,
4 is kind of a unique beast because the other games kind of were smooth sailing as far as like the narrative and story went. They had to overhaul stuff with this one when people jumped ship. That didn't happen in the past.
Yeah. It was a little while ago. As far as the whole story changing and all that. But it's I wonder. I hope someday we find out what happened there. Because to me it seemed more like, maybe Naughty Dog didn't like what Amy Hennig and the other guy came up with, and they decided to go with whatever idea Neil had and Bruce, which I'm all for because, like I've said many times before, that I think 2 is the best, and 3 kind of wasted its potential. I thought that the ending was just. It was nowhere near as awesome as 2 was, and I think it kind of let down the whole rest of the game, which was brilliant. Especially after I replayed it because we got the collection, I was like, man, this game is so good, but it's just like that ending is like it's just such a letdown story wise compared to 2 or even 1.
Right, it was very like
it just didn't
anticlimactic,
feel
like
enough. Yeah,
like
and it's
every
like,
little thread was kind
man.
of a disappointing end.
Yeah, it's such a shame because it's like I thought that game was building up to be so much better than 2, and they kind of ruined it at the end.
Like people,
and it's like if I don't think like I don't understand how they Amy Hennig could have let that happen because like she's supposed to be this great writer, but that was poor writing at the end, I thought. And it's like they even asked her afterwards, like if you could go back, would you have let Sully die? And it's like, no, like she wouldn't have changed anything. And it's like, I don't know. I just have more faith in Neil at this point. Because, he's responsible for The Last of Us and Uncharted 2, which are, in my opinion, Naughty Dog's 2 best games. And, like, especially with his recent comments about why they had to delay it by 6 months into March or whatever, is because they really want to make sure that the ending chapters of the game are as good as they can be. And it's like they want to be really ambitious with it. And it's that kind of ambition that is why Uncharted 2 was as good as it was. So it's like, that to me is a great sign, and I think Naughty Dog, they made a good choice by letting, Amy Hennig and the other guy go. Although, I think most likely they just decided to go with Neil and Bruce's direction, and Amy Hennig and the other guy probably just quit because they were pissed off, which is understandable. I mean, they put a lot of time into the original Uncharted 4 story, I'm sure, but yeah, like that's the way I would guess it. Like, I would guess that they weren't really totally satisfied with how it was going with Amy running it, and then Neil probably pitched them a story, and they were just like, yeah, we're taking that idea and running with it. Rather than, Amy Hennig just randomly deciding to quit for whatever reason, and then, oh shit, we got to come up with something now. Like, I don't think that's the way it went down, but who knows? Maybe someday we'll find out about what happened.
Well, that's kind of. Have you read into kind of like Amy Hennig and like Neil and them haven't said much, but the actors have spoken a bit about what happened. And it sounds like what happened was Neil did like suggest a different direction for the game, and that's the direction they started going, and that's when people did not like that, and that's when the actors all quit.
Damn, yeah,
so whoever
that
voiced
sounds like
that first teaser, that guy left, and that was right after Amy left because they didn't like the new direction.
Yeah, no, that sounds a lot more likely. Although it's like, I have a hard time believing that they didn't like the new direction. I think it's more just that they're pissed off that, that Naughty Dog was kind of, wasting all the time they spent on the original version. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's more likely they were just bitter, like, than them actually not liking what Neil came up with. I highly doubt that. Like, I think they know, even if they don't want to admit it, that whatever Neil is coming up with is good, because obviously Naughty Dog wouldn't just abandon Amy and the other people if what Neil came up with wasn't good. So it's like, even if they say that they didn't like the direction, I think that they just didn't like that, they were kind of getting the shaft, more likely. Because, I can't imagine that whatever Neil is coming up with is actually bad. Naughty Dog wouldn't go with it.
Yeah, just based on what I know about like the first 3 games, I feel like Neil would do a better job making this like climactic.
Yeah.
And
that's
like
really important.
It needs to be.
Yeah. It's the final game in the series, supposedly, so it's very, very important for it to be climactic, and I'm not sure if Amy is very good at doing climactic. Although one did have, I thought, a very good climactic kind of ending. But, like, I don't know. I just think Neil maybe has proved himself to be better as far as I'm concerned. But I haven't played any of her other games other than the Uncharted series, so I don't know. But it's cool that she's working on that Star Wars game at Visceral or whatever. Is she at Visceral?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Cause yeah, no, I've always I've always loved Visceral. Like they're a great developer, but yeah, it's kind of shame that they got relegated into doing Battlefield Hardline, and I feel like that was a waste of talent. But anyways, tonight is the Game Awards, and I've always had kind of mixed feelings about all Game Awards, cause I don't know. It's just sometimes it seems like it's more of a popularity contest than an actual true legitimate award show. Like, I mean, although what is a legitimate award show? Like, I don't think I think that there's some illegitimacy to every major award show. So, but especially the Game Awards in particular, like VGX it used to be called, or VGA or whatever, when it was on Spike and stuff. But it's pretty much the biggest award show for gaming, but I also feel like I don't know, it has some of the least credibility as far as I'm concerned, because it's like the last few, they only have a panel of I think a dozen guys, a lot of which none of us have ever heard of probably. And I just think that an award show like this, the biggest gaming award show, should have a lot more than 12 people, because there's way more than 12 people in the industry, and I think it should be of people that with a lot of credibility, like Colin Moriarty or Adam Sessler, or I don't know. There's a lot of people that they could choose that other than what they have, and it's like that. That's why I feel like the past couple of years that it's kind of been a letdown. I thought it was kind of crazy that they put GTA 5 over The Last of Us. I mean, everyone has their own opinion, but I think it's pretty clear to everyone that GTA 5 is not a better game than The Last of Us.
No, not even close, really.
And it's happened other years too. But I don't know. But hopefully I think it's really tonight.
The reason why I don't like it, and it's to your point that they have these people voting. I mean, it should either be like an outlet similar to the way IGN would do their own. It should be a team of people that represent BGX, and who they are, and they have some kind of credibility through their writing throughout the year, So they've tried a lot of different stuff.
Or I would like to see them do it kind of. I think how NFL does the MVP voting, where they have a bunch of people in the industry all put votes in. I think it's 50 people maybe in the NFL. People that are considered experts in some way or another. I think that's how they do the NFL MVP voting. But it's I think it should be a good amount of people, and it should be credible people for voting. But
that was kind of that was gonna be my next point, was that really what it should be the editor-in-chief and the co-editor-in-chief of every major gaming outlet. They should each get a ballot, and then they should each cast their ballot, and then they sum it up. So it's the industry voting. You don't disclose who voted for what, but the industry votes on what they thought was the best games of the year.
Yeah,
and that's really a representation of what it's supposed to be. Then it's supposed to be, the Video Game Awards. It's supposed to be what the industry thinks was the best of the year.
Yeah, because I think if the more people they ask, the more likely they'll not have issues with it. I think that'll be the most accurate representation of what is the best. And it's not just Game of the Year. It's also been other stuff, other categories that have been kind of wonky. And the thing that always cracks me up is that in Best PlayStation Game, they'll have multi-platform games. That's so weird to me. What's
the point of having that award?
Yeah, shouldn't the Best PlayStation and the Best Xbox game be exclusives? You know what I mean? Same thing with Nintendo. I don't understand why they would, because it's kind of stupid. To see a multi-platform game be Best PlayStation game, it's not just a PlayStation game though. Why wouldn't you use that category to represent the exclusives? I don't know. It's just so weird. It's I don't know. whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully this year isn't a disappointment. And like, I don't know, another point about the whole, because I think it's run by Jeff Keighley or whatever, and like he seems like a good guy and stuff, but like, yeah, I don't know. I haven't been a huge fan of his particular award show in the past, but one thing that did crack me up was, what was it, 2 years ago, with that guy Joel McHale, I think his name is.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, he said a lot of obnoxious things and was kind of being an asshole to some of the developers and stuff, and like a lot of gamers were pissed off and were like, this is the poorest representation of gaming and this and that. I found it hilarious, like, because he was such a dick.
I didn't actually watch
but he was
it,
also funny.
I
thought he was funny.
Uproar.
Like, there are highlights of it, and at some points it was definitely awkward, but I thought it was hilarious. Like, I don't know, like, but I have a more, I don't know, asshole-ish sense of humor than most people, I guess. But yeah, no, they're not gonna do that again, because I know that everyone, Jeff wasn't happy with that old thing, and it's just like, that won't happen again. But like, that was like one of the good things I could take away from the VGX. I don't even know what they're calling it. Game Awards, I think it's called now. But yeah, no, that was pretty funny, I thought. Yeah, like, I don't think we're gonna talk about our game of the year right now. We both still have to play some more Fallout 4.
Yeah, really quickly, just say who you'd pick off their list.
Oh, hands down, Metal Gear Solid 5. I mean, It's really, for me, it's not even close. It's like, I do have a lot of Fallout 4 to play left, and Witcher 3. But from right off the bat, like, I can just already tell. And yeah, I mean, frankly, I think Metal Gear Solid 5 is the game of the generation, not just the year, the game of this generation so far, because I'm not counting remasters. So yeah. And also, best graphics, it will be a crime if the Order 1886 doesn't win that.
Yep. Absolute
crime. That's a robbery right there. So, yeah, sound, I could definitely see them giving it to Battlefront. I think it would be deserving. Battlefront really does have great sound. There's been a lot of games with good sound, though, this year, I think. But, I don't know. Other than that, like, I don't even know what would be the best PlayStation exclusive of the year, do you think? Bloodborne? I think. Oh, yeah, that's pretty obvious.
I would say Until Dawn. Yeah. Until Dawn is actually my game of the year.
Oh, wow. Nice.
But then again, I'm not a Metal Gear fan.
Have they even nominated that?
No, they didn't.
They should.
The
for
game
something.
of the year for them was
it's
between Bloodborne, Fallout 4, Metal Gear Solid 5, Super Mario Maker, and The Witcher 3.
Yeah, man, why is that? I mean, I don't even know why Super Mario's in there.
It's
they couldn't nominate
Nintendo.
Rocket League. They couldn't. I think, yeah, like, for me, Rocket League has to be in there. It's like, I really hope Rocket League wins Best Sports Game. I think it really deserves it.
It's up for Best
whatever.
Indie Game, too.
Oh, that too, yeah. I mean, I don't think there's any, like, really other huge competition in that.
Yeah, but I do agree that Super Mario Maker should not be up for Game of the Year. Overall.
No, yeah, it definitely shouldn't.
Maybe on Nintendo, but I mean, all it really does is take the formula that Little Big Planet created like almost a decade ago now, and apply it to something that should have been obvious from the beginning.
Yeah, and I mean, it's still a Mario game too. Like, I don't know, like, I know some gamers might scoff at that, but I just don't consider that type of game in the year material. Like, I mean, that's just how I am. Like,
I mean, I would consider it if it did something new, like Galaxy at the time. But, I mean, going back and just taking your tools from all the old games and letting people use them, I mean, that is a no-brainer.
It's
and Little
silly,
Big Planet did that on its own. And that was the start of PS3 generation.
From what I've heard, Xenoblade Chronicles X would be a much more worthy Game of the Year contender than Mario Maker is. But they tend to ignore stuff that is coming that close to when the award show is going to actually happen. That's why, I think they should kind of do it after the end of the year because, it's not really 2015 if you're not counting the games that come out in the last month. I think a couple years ago, Far Cry 3 kind of got snubbed because it was, right in that cutoff area. Right. And it probably would have been at least nominated, I think, because that was, kind of a slow year. I think that was the year that Walking Dead won. And, there was Journey. But other than that, there weren't a whole lot of nominations that year. So it's I think it's kind of weird that they have that little cutoff area when they really shouldn't. Right. But, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. It's no huge deal. It's opinions and stuff. But it is the biggest award show. So it's I would hope it would be a little better than it has been. But... What are you going to do? I
hate it. I'll be honest. I'm just reading these names here, and I'm just going to say I hate it. I'm reading now, I read you the Game of the Year people. Here's the developers of the year. Bethesda, CD Projekt Red, From Software, Kojima Productions, and Nintendo. It's just the developers of the Game of the Year candidates.
That's crazy.
It's
how can they even nominate Bethesda... And even CD Projekt Red, which were a great studio, but they released that game as a mess.
Yeah.
So it's it doesn't matter how good their game is. You cannot nominate someone who puts out a broken game.
I don't know. Fallout 4 for Game of the Year. I'm not against them nominating, but at the same time, you think about all
as
the
the
other
game,
games
not
that
the
came out
developer,
this
though.
year. Yeah, but I'm saying that's even a stretch for me based on the way it launched. And then to say the developer, over all these other, Psyonix should be on that list.
Oh, 100%. 100%, yeah.
I mean, even just for the way they've supported it nonstop since it came out, it was a home run. Yeah. Plus, they were ready, and they have been going full speed ever since it launched.
Well, sure. Who deserves some credit too is Techland.
Yeah,
Dying Light. I mean, the game is awesome, and they've done awesome supporting it, and they're making basically another entire game as a part of the season pass. So I don't know. It's that's another one that kind of has got snubbed because it was made so long ago. And also, I thought it was weird that it is. Oh wait, I think Batman Arkham Knight is nominated for Game of the Year, isn't it?
No, not by the Game Awards.
How can you nominate Mario Maker over Batman Arkham Knight? Seriously? Wow. I think that was the one I was bummed about. Other than Rocket League, I also thought Rocket League belonged there more than Mario Maker does. But it's I don't want to. I'm not going to keep talking crap about Nintendo though. So, yeah. But yeah, I think
said, Until Dawn's my Game of the Year. Until Dawn has one nomination.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, I don't know. They have a bunch of awards Shooter of the Year and yeah, I don't know. They have a weird thing with nominations. Like we mentioned before, the whole thing with best PlayStation and best Xbox game. They have multi-platform games nominated. That's just so dumb. So it's their award show is kind of screwed up. They really need to. I don't know what they're thinking with it. It almost seems like it's kind of just a marketing platform more than an actual award show.
That's funny you say that, because I was just going to say that maybe it's just more of the spectacle.
Yeah, because it's so clear that they have a strong bias for multi-platform games rather than, just anything in general. Although they do still kind of shoehorn Nintendo in there every chance they get, but as far as everything else, it does seem that they'd be much more likely to pick a multi-platform game for Game of the Year than they would an exclusive. which just shows you how good Uncharted 2 was, because they still had to pick it, you know.
Yep.
And I think another, I don't even remember. I thought there was another PlayStation exclusive that won their Game Awards, but maybe not. I think it might have been Metal Gear Solid 4. I don't know. Whatever. We'll wrap it up here. I don't know. I think maybe after the end of the year or near the end of the year, we'll do our own kind of Game of the Year episode, and our own little awards thing.
Right.
But yeah, that's it for this week. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Later.